How are you feeling?
Tired.
Tired?
Mm-hmm. How about you?
Yes.
Yeah.
All of the above.
So what's our cutoff?
Cut off for
Who gets up with him? What's the time drawn? The timeline drawn here.
We're
switching.
4:30.
4
or before. It's you. 4:30 or after. It's me.
4 a.m.
We know that I'm going to be the one getting up, so give me that 30 minutes.
4 a.m.
I need my beauty sleep.
No. Nobody gives a shit what you look like.
You're pretty enough. You could lose some beauty sleep hours, and you would still be stunning.
You liar, pants on fire.
Just saying. I calls them how I sees them.
Oh my God. Where have these compliments been this entire marriage? Until they are advantageous to you, they don't show up.
You keep them in your back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Jeremy.
I'm Krista. I saw that.
We are parentally unprepared.
As usual.
As per usual. Welcome to the show at P Unprepared Pod on Twitter and parentallyunprepared@gmail.com. That gets you in touch with us.
Woo!
Where we will answer your questions and tell your stories. You notice we've never answered a question or told a story on this podcast. Ever.
It's all compliments. Nothing to add. Nothing to change.
Mm-mm.
That's why we just keep going on about ourselves.
I'm not here for your critiques. I'm here to speak my own truth.
God, our truth is
And
lame.
our truth is...
I hope our kids like it someday.
Our truth is that we are ready to sleep. Well, we're 1 month in to new baby.
Woo!
And I would say things are going pretty good.
I think so.
I think that he is coming into his own. He is eating a lot. He has gained a lot of weight.
Little chubby boy.
What, 2 pounds by week 2? Is that what it was?
Yeah. And now we're at week 4, so I'm not even sure where he's at.
I mean, he's a long...
No, it was 2 pounds by week 3.
Week 3?
Yeah.
He is a long baby, and he is getting some meat on them bones because he was a skinny boy.
He's skinny little like newborn, like straight out the womb. And now, yeah, he's already outgrown the length on all the newborn stuff, and he's chunking up.
Yeah,
and our
he's
daughter
almost out of 0 to 3.
Yeah,
too. I was noticing, like, when I was putting him back in his onesie after changing the last diaper tonight before we put him to bed, it's already pulling kind of tight when he stretches out.
They're all
He's looking
cut.
like a square. Remember the square?
Yes, the square, the Patrick Star from SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I remember it. But like all those baby clothes are cut so weird. We talked about that like in depth and went on big rants about it last time. Like it depends on what brand you're going with. It's all cut different.
Yeah.
But like our daughter,
You get the nicer brands. The nicer brands are cut like White House Black Market or Express, where it's like, you know,
these are your nice brand references.
A 3 to 6 month onesie is cut like a 0 to 3 month onesie.
Yeah,
They're trying to install those complexes very, very early.
Thank God it's boy clothes.
You're already in a 6 to 12 month.
I did his 1 month photo, like progress photos, and I sent them to you as a comparison. And it's funny because our daughter, when she was born, she was only an inch shorter than him, but she weighed more, like almost a pound more, and so she was like real stout through the torso and had little skinny legs and everything. But
She had a really long torso.
Yeah, by the first month though, she looked like this like howler monkey. She's all like limbs and
really long
and
limbs.
She lanked out a lot and gotten real skinny. And he's done the opposite. He's chunked up completely, even though he's born all limbs.
He's like normal 2 or 3 month old size.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Well, because everybody like he's not, he was
we make large children. What can I say?
he just literally turned a month like yesterday, right?
Yeah.
As of this recording,
And our
yesterday.
3-year-old looks like a 6-year-old. So,
Well, and the fact that like when we took him to, I think we took him to one of the cousins' birthday parties last week, and they're like, "Oh, how old?" And I'm like, "Oh, he's 3 weeks." They're like, "Whoa, whoa,
whoa.
yeah, whoa,
like that
he's
time we
really big for 3 weeks."
It's like that time we were at the Mexican restaurant and what was she? She was like 7 months old or something. And the baby across the way was 7 months old, and they thought our kid was like 1.5 years old.
Like, what kind of hormones is she injecting into her breasts to make these monster babies?
I don't know. Skittles. I'm gonna call it Skittles.
It's very sugary.
Yeah, just pump them full of sugar and red number 6 or whatever it is. But I don't know. Yeah,
But it's been.
it's going well.
It's been going well as far as the kids go. I feel like we had a lot of testing going on with the 3-year-old last time we recorded. I feel like that's tamed down a little bit. I mean, she's still doing 3-year-old stuff, but
Yeah,
I feel like she has gotten that verification that we're still going to be here. We're still doing
same
things
rules apply,
together.
kiddo.
Same rule. Nothing's changing.
No.
You know, you're not being replaced. And thankfully, she never took it out on the kid once.
Yeah.
I mean, she's nothing but sweet to him.
Yeah, she loves him, so that's big relief.
Yeah.
Unless she's like going for the long game, like plotting all of our demises.
Yeah. She's like, I'll just get him old enough to do some stupid stuff. Really make him look bad. Really make him look bad.
Oh my God.
Just smears paint on his hands and gets them all dirty and just goes in the other room. Was like, what'd you do?
I could see her doing
Just
this.
framing him. Just get the old frame job.
She will absolutely frame somebody. She tries to blame stuff on the dog. She blames farts on the dogs already.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and smiles at you when she does it too.
Sometimes, but like most of the time, she's like, I farted. Like she just looks at you,
Well,
like,
she just knows
goofy grin.
She wants to laugh, like, because she knows we laugh at, like, we always laugh at farts.
Yeah.
So she's not being raised in the most prim and proper household, so she's going for the laugh.
I know I dropped it in one of our chats, but I made myself laugh when I was talking to a friend of mine online. I haven't talked to in a while. Let me know that she was pregnant, and her and her husband are expecting. She's only like 3 months pregnant right now. And so I sent pictures. I was like, oh, here's what my 3-year-old looks like now, and here's the newborn. She was like, he looks so serious. I was like, yeah. He looks like someone, he's got the face of someone who has a favorite clipboard. Like, he absolutely looks like that guy. I was like, where's my good clipboard at? I'm taking notes on everything you're doing wrong.
Everybody's trying to find the nice way of being like, oh, he has such a mature face. Oh, he looks like an old soul. And I'm like, my 1-month-old looks like a little old man, and we know it. He's looked that way since birth.
Yeah, he's got the
so
quivering
cute.
old man chin.
He's so cute.
The sunken in quivering old man chin. And he's constantly got the furrowed brow. He will not relax that forehead. I'm just like, come on, man. Come on.
He's started smiling more, and he does relax his forehead now that he smiles. But he and our daughter, like, if you look back at her pictures too, they look so much alike. They look so much like they have.
There's differences, but there's a lot more similarities, right?
I don't know, man. Like, they're very distinctly themselves, but damn, they look alike. Like, it's so strange. I mean, it's genetics. It's so strange, but it's genetics. It's science. Like, duh.
They're definitely going to be like undeniably siblings when they're older. Like they're like, that's definitely your brother.
They're related.
Yeah.
First cousin, brother, somewhere in there, right? I think he's got my paler skin. She's got your darker skin. Like, so.
I don't know, man. She developed that darker skin later. She was pretty pale early on.
But she didn't blush like he does. Like, and I say blush, but he
flushes hard.
Flush, yeah, flush is the word I was looking for.
He gets mad. He turns red all over.
He turns beet red, like like the color of a red delicious apple. Yeah. Like
cherry tomato, old cherry tomato head.
That's straight from his mama, because I am very pink undertoned. Yeah. So I don't know.
What do you think of it? Like,
His eye color is not sticking either.
I don't. Yeah, his eye color is going to be wild. We were thinking it was like dark brown. Like we were kind of betting on dark brown.
We're as good at guessing eye color as we are at guessing gender. Just not at all.
Hopefully, we're better at being parents. Hopefully, you're better than being parents. Being parents than being eye color guessers.
You're the worst Muppets in the corner. Like, what is the thing? Oh, the corner balconies. What I was trying to say.
Yeah, I don't know their names.
I don't either.
Because I'm not that much of a nerd.
Moving on. What were you saying before I interrupted you about eye color?
Yeah, we thought. I mean, you were just like, I'm sure it's going to be brown, blah blah blah, because his eyes were so dark. Because I mean, they're barely opening them when they're born. So like, and he started opening them more, and they look very like cobalt deep blue.
Yeah.
And now you can see like a light ring start to move out from the inside now.
So you know how I told you our daughter's left eye is lighter than her right eye, and nobody cares but me. Our son's right eye is lighter than his left eye.
Put them together, and they're a whole normal shade of eye.
No. I hate you. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that. This is okay. Our son also has dimples on his shoulders.
He does.
Yeah.
You told me something about those. What's that all about?
So everything I read just says basically it's where a pointy bone gets stuck against the uterine wall, and
it just kind of fuses like that.
It's basically like the skin can't.
Does it ever let go, or is that how a dimple's formed?
That's how a dimple's formed.
Oh.
Not a cheek dimple. Something's different about that. But they also said it could be genetic. So there's not a clear answer on it, basically, because nobody will go up in there and start looking around while there's an in utero baby to figure this stuff out.
I don't have shoulder dimples, do I?
Not that I've seen, no. But
I don't know anybody with shoulder dimples.
He's got them on both sides, just one's more pronounced than the other.
They almost kind of look like scars when they first came out.
The one on his right shoulder looks like a scar. Yeah, I was just like, what happened to my baby in there when they like laid him on my chest?
I mean, maybe it's just.
Was he in a knife fight?
He did not move very much. Like his positioning didn't move a whole lot. Like the first.
Which makes me so curious how his neck's so damn strong. He's already holding his head up.
Yeah.
Like really well. Like kid's a pro at tummy time already.
And he doesn't seem to be as fussy at tummy time as the first kid. First kid did not like tummy time.
So I got theories on this. He doesn't want to kick. She was all about kicking. Like she wanted to move them legs, and he don't. No, not at all. That's why we're having so much trouble, like helping him clear gas and stuff like that. But his neck's strong as hell. So he was head down the whole time, and I think he was pivoting his body off his neck the whole time he was down. But she was just swimming around the ocean in there, moving all her limbs, and her neck didn't get the workout.
Now her limbs don't stop moving.
Then they still don't stop. She cannot sit still. I was reading her bedtime story tonight, and she kept flailing and just trying to like move around and like roll around on her bed, and she kept almost knocking the book out of my hand. And I finally had to be like, "Girl, you gotta sit down. Keep knocking the book out of my hand." Sometimes I feel like I talk to her too plainly.
Limbs moving since 2021. She's just going. And then she passes out like a champ.
Yeah, she should have passed out 45 minutes before she did.
Yeah, we've been so it's been an interesting month. You've had, the time off work. I've already gone back to work, but with the caveat of taking some other weeks off for some trips and to bridge some gaps between you going back to work and him being able to go to daycare. But how are you doing overall?
Not great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in good spirits today, but I will say,
things have got you down lately.
Yeah, man. And
you think they're just amplified a little bit?
I don't know. I know I was really emotional the first time, but I felt like it was like all the emotion of motherhood and responsibility all hitting me at once. I think I'm just stir crazy as hell right now. And I'm like a touch, I don't want to call it depressed because I don't want anybody to worry, but it's like, I feel like I'm just like, I'm like stress eating, and I can't work out and I can't go anywhere. Like, because he's too little to get out into a huge crowd of public places. He overheats easily, and we live in Georgia where it's hot as hell no matter what. I can't baby wear him for the same reason. He just gets too hot. So it's like hard to even carry him around the house to do a bunch of housework because he gets hot in an air conditioned house really easily.
I saw you got that USB fan though.
I did get that. Yeah, because we couldn't find our other one. So I just went ahead and bought another one because Aldi's amazing. And but like, there's just all these things. Like, I'm not cleared to work out. I went for a walk.
It's another, 2 weeks?
Yeah, supposedly. I think my appointment's not for 3 though, maybe even 4. I went ahead and walked 3 miles with him today and just said, the hell with it. I'm going to go on a walk, which made me feel better.
Imagine that.
Well, I mean, I know working out would make me feel better right now, but like my back is acting up. Like I'm about to throw my back out every 2 days. It feels like my hips won't stay in the right place. My hip flexors are weak as hell. I have no abs. So basically every way I move, I'm kind of scared I'm about to hurt myself because everything's shifting into the right place. So I think that's contributing to my like feeling down is I'm also scared that I'm about to be hurt. And I was somebody that went through severe low back pain and, bulging disc and a partially dislocated hip. Like the back stuff lasted for 5 years. The dislocated hip thing happened after my last delivery. So I've been through some pretty major pain in my life and it's not fun. And I hate being, I hate being out of commission essentially. I don't like it. I don't like it when there's a load of laundry waiting anymore because I finally have a system in place and feel like even though there's not order to the entire house, like the parts I occupy, I feel like I keep running pretty well. And to just
you're scared to interrupt those.
I'm scared to throw out my back, basically is what I'm at, because not only do we have that was sucky when it was just the two of us. You had to take on all the cooking, cleaning, dog care, and help me. So add 2 kids to that. What the hell are we supposed to do if that happens? So I'm terrified to throw my back out. I'm cooped up in a house that I've been in for a year, essentially.
Well, you've got things that you can do, but you're not at a point with him. He's not at a point where you can just kind of break away and do that stuff. He's still I need more attention.
Yeah.
Than, so it's hard to kind of make that time.
And I have ADD, so I'm just getting into a project and getting immersed in it is great. Getting started is what's hard because if I don't have a lot of time to contribute to it, I don't like getting interrupted in that stuff. And when your kid has to eat every 2 hours, that's getting interrupted a lot of times a day. Even if you have all the time in the world on paper,
is it possible to bust any of it up into pieces? I
mean, it is possible for a normal functioning human being, but I'm I have mental blocks is all it is. It's overcoming a lot of that. So,
you were talking about this earlier today, and I was telling you that's probably why I just stay busy all the time because I'm the same way. So that's why I hate losing momentum on what I'm doing because getting back to it really sucks, right? Yep. That's why
I miss ADD drugs. I can't take them while you're pregnant, while you're nursing, and honestly, they would be very helpful, but you can't.
But that's that's why I'm back in school. That's why I've got 3 hobbies. That's why I'm just kind of I'm going to keep my mind busy, and I get stir crazy. I get stir crazy even when we're sitting there I like watching TV, but at the same time my mind's going, hey man, this stuff over here, and it just I can't help it. So it's I understand. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's everything with him seems, I don't know, less scary, less emotional, than the first time when I was terrified and I was just thinking all the scariest thoughts in the world, what could happen to us if we just walk the stroller down the street. I'm not having these what do they call them? Intrusive thoughts.
Yeah. You like when you
a
mentioned
drunk driver's going to come careening around the corner or something like that.
Right. When you mentioned that earlier, I think that like, I think it kind of goes back to what we were talking about an episode or two ago, where we were talking about how like I asked you if you thought this one would be a little easier, just like mentally, because you've gotten so much of those firsts out of the way with the first kid that you're not like things that you were like worried about. You kind of realize now looking back, you're like, I didn't need to worry about that. We got through it just fine. Like,
yeah,
what I was fearing didn't come to pass, kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm much more relaxed with him. Like I keep forgetting to put his outlet on.
He's super laid back too.
Yeah, he's super laid back. I'm more relaxed when he's mad. He is mad. Don't get me wrong.
I was really nervous early on because he would get angry quick,
and
he would just yell, and he didn't like.
He sounded like a car alarm.
He did not like any interruption to his immediate surrounding.
Well, yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, but he just basically didn't like cold, and he didn't like being hungry, and those two things were happening to him all the time. Yeah. Like at that new stage, it was just like, I just came out of a tropical paradise. That's what I'm going to start calling my womb, by the way.
That's the thing I was most nervous about.
Yeah,
was like, oh my gosh, is he going to be a cry all the time baby? And he's really not.
Well, and he had gas or colic or however that was referred to too. So we ran into that. Like, we
got to try extra hard to burp him. Like,
yeah,
I feel like there's more effort put into burping him than the first kid.
Absolutely. I think so too. But I think he's nursing better than she did. Anyway, there's a lot less that's freaking me out, stressing me out about him and how he's doing and all like those types of things.
But more for you.
More just like I got into a couple of rounds of like, I don't want to call it destructive behavior because that seems dramatic, but like overeating and not taking care of myself and like not exercising. And I went through that, after she got here because I got hurt. But then like around the time she was 2, I went through it again. And then I was making like really big progress when we got pregnant with him. And just like, I'm really ready to get back to it. But I've also like noticed like my eating habits have gone terribly awry. And so I was just like spiraling like in the last couple of weeks, just like I'm stuck inside. I haven't seen my friends for months. Like I've been pregnant. I haven't been social. Like I can't go outside on my own because my body's starting to like revolt on me. And I'm like every step, I feel like a 90-year-old woman right now. And so it's just like, I don't want to not be around you because I'm scared if I'm there and I get hurt with the kids. Like, what do I do? And it's just, all that unnerving stuff where you're just like, it's probably going to be okay, but you just start to worry. And all that's been built up because, you got plenty going on too. So I'm just like sitting there on my own thinking about all that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I keep telling you too, because I think that you might have just forgotten some of the first time around because that's what the mind does. It kind of forgets the harder parts of things and just kind of focuses on the good stuff. But I do remember you had some of these same feelings the first time around.
Yeah, some of them.
I stayed home longer last time. I was home for I think a couple weeks longer. So I was thinking about today. I was like, wow, last time I took like a month off, right? Mm-hmm. But we also didn't know like some parental leave came in like later and all this stuff. But we also were trying to this time we're trying to space it out so we can actually do some things together as a family and bridge some other gaps and stuff like that. But you did have some of these moments last time too. I think it's just hard, like, because add to that something that we're both feeling is the lack of sleep just from getting up. Thankfully we're kind of moving into that stage, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, where we're changing his schedule a little bit and hopefully getting him through the night. But the lack of sleep will it adds to that cocktail and just makes it so much worse.
Absolutely. Too. I mean, and like my body is just like the Wild West right now too.
Sure.
Just I'm still healing. All of that shit's weird.
Yeah.
It's just like, and it's like, you know, we came home and I was like cleaning the house immediately. Like the recovery seemed so much faster with this one, where if you listen to our delivery episode, like labor was a little rough, and then oddly recovery seemed fast. But like this week, I told you, it was like this week it's back to like almost square one. Like I feel like I had the baby a week ago, not 4 weeks ago for some reason.
Not
like,
bleeding and whatnot, but
no, that's finally stopped. But like, yeah.
Just the other feelings.
Yeah, there's lots of other stuff. I mean, and
your uterus doesn't feel right. Like,
no.
and I mean that I remember
and I can
you saying
get as
last
detailed
time,
as we want. I don't care, but like,
I remember
I
you
don't
saying
think that's
last
really what this
time,
is about.
right? I remember you saying last time it felt like that too. You're like, this feels weird. Like,
I mean, and we're having like things I don't remember happening last time, but yeah, I'm older too. Who knows? But it's just none of it's comfortable. It's all gross.
yeah,
like, and you know, I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself because it's not COVID anymore. We're expected to be in 19 places every freaking weekend.
we still got the great excuse.
Yeah, I mean, we supposedly do, but nobody, like, everybody still expects us to be there, and we don't ever take that damn excuse. So who gives a shit that we've got it? Like, we just go everywhere we're asked to be. So,
But you say it like that, but we kind of want to be there too, in some of those.
sure. I don't know what I was saying. So, but
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
yeah.
You're saying your body feels weird.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like I've been hard on myself because I didn't make it to some weddings and some graduations and stuff like that, even though I was feeling, you know, good enough to clean bathrooms and stuff like that. And I'm having to remind myself, like, you were still wearing a diaper. Like, you're not going to go to a black tie wedding wearing a diaper, dummy. Like,
It's just poor timing on those.
which our 3-year-old loves that I'm wearing a diaper, by the way. she keeps
cracked up.
she's such an ass.
She came out. Look what mommy's wearing. Or
Little snitch.
one morning she came up. She goes, Dad. I'm like, yeah. She goes, is mommy wearing a diaper? And I was like, yeah, babe, she is.
One of her
She's
favorite
healing.
things to do, and she found my sitz bath, which she cannot process because you were bathing her, and the thing was in the bathroom. She's like, "What's that?" And you were like, "That's for mommy's bottom." She's like, "Why does she need that?" And you started explaining to her like something about childbirth, and I'm like, "Whoa! Please don't tell her how babies get here like that. She's too young. She's gonna be horribly scarred."
I don't think I explained it.
No,
Like,
you
I
saw.
didn't,
You pulled the emergency brake. Thank God. But I thought it was going in a terrible direction that we were never going to be able to undo.
I had some sort of explanation where I was like, oh, it's just
You kept it vague,
she's recovering from baby getting here. Oops.
Yeah, I've said like at least 3 cuss words. But yeah, she laughed about the sitz bath. She loves that I'm wearing a diaper. Her favorite part of the day is helping me change what she calls my booby pads, because I have the disposable bra.
The liners.
Yeah, bra liners for
Catching milk.
yeah, which Jesus. Oh God. Yeah. Everybody who's like just okay enough with their choices to just choose formula right out the gate. Man, I love those people. I wish I was that strong.
Well, we're already hybridized.
Yeah, we have started
That's
adding
helped a
in-
lot.
I mean, yes, absolutely. We've started adding in formula already, and it's definitely helping a lot. It took a huge amount of pressure off of me already. I can't wait to take the rest of it off.
How long did we take to bring that in with the first kid?
To hybridize?
Yeah.
I think we did it right before she went to daycare because the doctor suggested not to introduce a bunch of new stuff like right when she was going to daycare. So we brought it in like 2 weeks before.
Okay, so it's basically just shy of like 2 months then. So
Something.
probably around 6 weeks. So not too much. Really.
No. Just shy of 3 months. She went in at 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why did I think it was 2?
Because you hadn't listened back to our podcast.
I thought I don't know. For some reason in my head, the whole time I've thought you were out for 8 weeks.
Nope, 12.
Okay. Learn
This
something
time
new
it'll
every
be
day.
8.
You relearn something new every day.
Yeah, I think this time I'll be out. I think it will be 9.
Mm-hmm.
No, 8.5. 8.5.
Yeah, but then we've still got to bridge like a 3 or 4 week gap before.
No, that's why I'm out 8.5 weeks. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That's what I mean. Though you're going back to work, but he's not going to daycare yet. So we've got a combination of grandparents and me taking some time to bridge that like 3.5 weeks leading up to.
Man.
Thankfully, we've got those resources.
This is okay. So we're old parents. All of our parents are young parents. Every one of nobody had a kid over the age of 23.
Yeah.
Like, so nobody's freaking retired. Like all these people with like grandparents out the wazoo that can watch their kids while they go to work. I'm just like, what the hell?
We've got 1 retired grandparent.
No, we got 2 technically.
2, technically, yeah.
But they're not actually our parents, and they're older than our parents.
Yeah.
They're who our parents married. And oh God, man, I'm just like, where are all my retirees at? My dad keeps talking like he's going to retire. I'm like, retire. I need a babysitter.
I don't know, man. It's really it's cool. We've got a cool network. I'm glad. I'm kind of happy with our setup. I know it's not like.
I'm glad our kids are going to daycare and getting that. Or will go. One of them's there. One of them's not there yet, but we'll get that interaction. We get parent teacher conference. Most laughable bullshit.
I have a parent teacher conference tomorrow.
Most unproductive planned conversation that will have ever occurred in the human existence is going to occur tomorrow between Jeremy and our kid's teacher, who does not give a damn.
I think that if I'm being honest, I think she does, but I don't think she has. I don't think that she knows how to. I think she's kidding herself.
Yes, I agree.
Does that make sense?
I 100% agree with that. I think she believes she's fully capable, and she does care, and she also is kidding herself.
Yeah, might cut this out. We'll see.
Might.
I got a lot of editing to do this time around.
Love you.
I might start letting the cuss words go though.
I don't care.
Let's be honest here.
Who cares?
No one's listening.
No.
Let's just be honest.
No. And anybody that was listening before did not care if we cussed.
I don't know what I would like to go back and just like try to figure out where our head was there. I guess
we were looking for broad appeal.
We were.
Yeah.
Mistake.
Yeah, it was dumb.
It was a big mistake. Because all the podcasts that we listen to,
they cuss like sailors.
Cuss like crazy.
Shit we like.
Yeah. So I just need to watch out for names now.
Yeah.
I got to go find that name I said earlier.
Good job.
Good luck finding it, bitch.
Yeah. So I don't know. Your stepsister's been checking in on me a lot, like. Because anybody's asked me, like, how you doing? I've been, like, pretty honest and been like, I'm okay.
Who's been checking?
Your stepsister, Chris.
Yeah. Gotcha. Another one.
All right. You got 9.
Yeah.
Just pick one. She's probably checked on me, too. But, yeah, like, I've just been straight. And they're like, you got baby blues? And I'm like, I don't know if I call it that. Like, I'm not in any way blue about the baby.
It seems like it's you're just from my perspective, you are very upset about just how you feel about you.
Yeah. Like,
and maybe that's part of postpartum. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I'm never like defined it with a therapist or anything, but I mean, it's more just my own limitations have kind of got me down.
Right.
Like, societal limitations slightly had me down. It'd be great if I could just safely go somewhere with my 2 children and not worry about shit, but that'd be great.
Hints where we're at.
Yeah.
You said Owlet, and I wanted to check. Everything's normal. Everything's good.
Good.
Because he's sleeping so well right now. I'm like, I need to check.
So, like, okay, it's weird because our daughter slept, I mean, through the night at this point, like, scarily
Like
well.
a rock.
Yeah. And he is like, we are doing really good to get 3.5 hours strung together.
Yeah, I think he's probably closer to
Normal. Yeah.
But
I know.
he's not. I think he's a little better than normal.
I think so
I know
too.
that there's a lot of parents that have told me stories. I'm just kind of like, ugh.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like, we haven't slept in 3 days.
He had that one like 2-3 day period where he was feeding every hour or half hour, and I thought I was going to cry every minute of every day. We were so tired. And I mean, like, I was still looking at him like, you're really freaking cute. Like, like I was so happy, but I was just like, whoo, this growth spurt is kicking my ass.
Yeah.
Like, and he definitely grew. Like, he grew that week a lot.
Bro, he was so noticeably.
Mm-hmm.
I was remembering how I could hold him when we brought him home and when we had him at the hospital, and I can't hold him like that anymore.
No,
Like,
I have started holding him like with my hand on his chest and his like legs over around my my bicep, and just like I'll carry him through the house that way because it helps his gas to have my forearm on his tummy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to do this much longer.
No. It's like the other day when you had that realization, if you pick up our daughter, you're like, good grief.
Yeah.
Good grief. You're
She's
like
just solid.
You're like holding a gazelle. Will you please?
She is like a forest animal.
Yeah. She really is.
She's so lean and so just dense, like a star.
Dude, I picked up her cousin. Like, it was her cousin's birthday the other day.
They're all made of hollow bird bones.
I was like, what is this?
All kids that are not our child are made of bird bones. Our kids made of lead. Like,
Was it the other day? It was so we had a graduation party we were at, and someone picked up our daughter. They were like, "Oh, let me pick you up," because they had just picked up the other cousin, and they're like, "Let me pick you up." Come here, kid.
it's a new party trick we're gonna pull. We're just gonna
guess this baby's weight.
line the 2 girls up and be like, all right, pick this one up. Now pick this one up and try not to throw your back out. Yeah. They're the same height and age. Go for it.
It's like when Kevin sat in Santa Claus's lap.
Oh man, I think she did make Santa wince last year. Joking, baby girl, if you ever listen to this. Yeah.
But man, she is very dense, but she's all muscle.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
all muscle.
Yeah,
uncoordinated as a newborn giraffe.
I know.
She just, like, if you watch her, it looks like her legs are rubber when she runs around.
The way she looks, I had such high hopes that she would like follow in my like athletic, like love of sports footsteps. And not yet. And I'm looking at
we haven't excluded it, but
I'm looking at her son and I'm like,
it's not looking good.
I'm like, what if he's built like a shot putter, but he's going to be the athlete?
That long, lean, he'll be like a swimmer or something like that.
Oh my God, that'd be weird. Yeah, my dad and all his siblings were swimmers.
That's true.
It's true. It could happen. I don't want a swimmer in this family because I don't want to get up at 4 a.m. to go to swim meets. I have a coworker who had 3 kids. She had 5 total kids. 3 of them were swimmers. And her life was a living hell when all 3 of them were swimming. I'd never seen a person more tired in my entire life. I've seen parents of triplets less tired than that lady was. And they're like, no. No. I don't want to.
5 kids, man. That sounds like, 3 too many.
5 kids and you don't own a farm?
I'm just trying not to say 3 mistakes, but it's like
no
3 whoopsies.
No. I think you know where they come from at that point.
Maybe. I don't know.
You missed my joke though. Oh, I should have tacked on a cult reference too.
But yeah, so we're adjusting to everything. We're trying to get you to a place where, you're feeling better about stuff. And I think that, you got out today, you actually went walking, you took the dog and the baby.
I didn't take the dog.
I thought you said you did.
No, I said I took him out after we got back. Our dog sprained his wrist 3 days ago. So I did not take him on a 3-mile walk.
I put it together that he went on a walk and you said he's doing somewhat because you kind of back to back those things.
I just gave you both updates because I got back from the walk, then took him out. And and when I was relaying that message, the way you responded, I knew how you took it and that it was incorrect, but it was like, who cares? I'm not going to correct him.
Let him be happy at work thinking his dog actually got a walk today. I was like, man, my dog is out doing it. Old man, killing it.
No, I did not take the old man with a sprained wrist on a 3-mile walk. But you got out and walked. He is not limping anymore either. So
you got out and walked today with the baby, and you said it made you feel good. And it's just like, I feel like those little things.
I'll tell you though, I still worried about him overheating, even though I went out before it got hot. And I brought him in, and I when I did take him out, I put him in like just a little tiny onesie, like nothing with sleeves or legs on it. And he still got hot. That's the thing. It's so hard to get him out and about to do stuff because he's just so temperature sensitive.
Well, in infant stuff, like infant and newborn, like carrying devices are so like.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you so cramped in there, man?
Well, and the only ones that are like
stuffing them in.
Yeah, the only way to get a breathable one, because I already looked into that, because I was like, I can't keep doing this. I can't just wait for him to get big enough, like, to start moving and doing stuff. I'm sick of this house. Like,
what if? Oh, we'll have to mess with some stuff on the stroller.
Maybe, but like the only way to do it is to invest $200 in another carrier. Which seems silly for a short period of time.
Air conditioning built into it or something?
Yes, yeah. It's got 3 fans that are all battery operated independently.
New from Tesla.
No, I'm bullshitting you. But
baby cooler 500.
Oh my God. Bring me back to Tesla in a minute.
Okay.
But the other one are those complicated ass like saran wraps or whatever you call them.
Sorry, saran wrap came to mind. I'm like, why are you wrapping a baby in saran wrap? All right.
It's Valentine's Day.
You mean like the what do you call them? The Bjorns, like the cloth Bjorns.
Yeah, the ones where you got to learn like how to tie all the nautical knots just to get your kid in and out of them. Mm-hmm. And I'm not. I know myself well enough to know I'm never going to get out of the car with enough time to assemble that thing, get my kid in it, and start going. Like, I need something with 2 clicks on it.
Well, I know that it's going to be one of the sides just going to go. My kid's going to go woo out of the ground.
It's not funny. It's not funny. It's one of my worst fears. So
give me all the buckles and the straps. Yeah. I don't care. Like, I'm sorry you're hot, kid. At least your head's not bouncing off the hot pavement.
I had to hand our kid to a stranger the other day to get him in the carrier correctly.
So, excuse me, ma'am, will you hold this?
I did. I found a mom of 3 small children and was like, will you please hold my baby? Because I had grabbed my purse and there was somebody running an old ass SUV with a ton of exhaust coming out, and we don't have any emissions requirements where we live. And they were just like sitting there running their car in a parking spot at the grocery store right next to us. So I got out and I'm trying to get him into the carrier, but I couldn't do it or something like that. I don't know. Something had me in a rush, and there was just exhaust pouring into the car with my 4-week-old baby. So I just grabbed him and walked him over to where the carts were, and then realized that I didn't have the carrier on my waist, and I had to put him down to buckle it onto my waist, but there was nowhere to sit him. I considered laying him inside my purse.
It's big enough.
I mean, I thought about it. I was like, there's nowhere comfortable here.
Maybe that's your $1 million idea. The purse that has the top like a bassinet top.
Maybe that
people love big purses.
I love a big purse, man. If I could fit a baby in my purse, man, that'd be great. But I decided against laying him directly in the grocery cart or directly in my purse. And saw a mom of 3 small children and was like, will you please hold my baby while I put this on? And she did it. She gladly did it. She was like, oh, how new is he? I was like, he's 4 weeks old and I'm a terrible mom. And I was like, thank God my other kid isn't here because I could chalk this up to like first time mom shit. Like,
yeah, it was, what I pictured in my head is her looking at you like oh, what's his name in Ballad of Buster Scruggs? Like, first time.
Yes. So good times. Sorry, son. You just got to meet new people that day.
Well, we were at that one party and we looked.
Oh,
we
God,
looked
yeah.
over and there was just. Did we record since then?
I don't know, but I definitely busted our niece's chops about it. I said ass, but that doesn't make any sense. But we went to other cousin's birthday party, and she said something about holding her son, and I was like, well, last time I handed him off to you. Oh no, she was telling her mom she wanted a brother. And I was like, well, how bad do you want a brother? You were holding my baby for 5 minutes before you handed him to a stranger. And she's like, like a deer in headlights. She's like, I did not. And then she turned to her boyfriend. She was like, I handed him to you. So I got him in trouble. And he's like, I didn't hold that baby. It's like, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there, but all of a sudden I turned around. There's a stranger holding my kid. So, and then right after I busted her chops about that, I had to hand our kid to a stranger. So that felt good.
It'd be great if she had walked in at that time.
At the grocery store?
Who's this?
Oh, this is my coworker. Known her for 15 years. That would be the first thing I say.
She'd be like, no, we don't know each other.
But I said, bring me back to Tesla. So our daughter got me into an in-depth conversation about how gasoline versus electric cars work. Our 3-year-old.
What?
That was the conversation we had on the way to school yesterday morning.
How did that come up?
She saw a transfer truck carrying a normal one, and then another one came through carrying a gas load. And you know how the back load is a cylindrical tank instead. Yeah. So she was like, well, what's that one? And I was like, that's gas for cars. And it just snowballed. And I was like, well, some cars run on gas and some cars run on electric. And I mean,
some cars run on both. Did you tell her that?
I did. I was like, our car runs on both. and then we looked around. I was like, every car around us is on gas. And she was like, well, where are the electric cars? I was like, well, a couple rich assholes at your daycare drive them. Let's see if we can spot them when we pull up. And so it was really funny. I was just like, this is not the conversation I thought I'd be having with my little girl on the way to daycare today.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
She is very curious about everything.
Yeah,
she
man.
wants to know. She wants to know details of the stories we're reading that we don't know.
Oh my God! Talk about Mrs. McMurphy.
Oh my God, Mrs. McMurphy's pumpkin. Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
Jesus, that took the hardest left turn, and at least it was written in a way where you could see it coming. But like, so the story goes, Mrs. McMurphy is a lady who lives by herself, so I assume she's a widow.
She's on a farm.
Lives on a farm at the edge of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about how she tends to her livestock and takes care of the farm. And then one day she wakes up and there's a pumpkin sitting in her kitchen, and and it had just a crooked smile, and then nothing else. And it says, what did he say? Like,
they drew it like it was
my
just
eyes
like
will be here, and then my mouth will be here, and once my teeth are here, I will eat you. Right?
Yeah. So it's like the crooked smile is drawn like a crack in the pumpkin.
Yeah.
But apparently this guy can talk.
So, and she's like, nope, and just took him outside. Like, you're going to stay on the porch. Then the next day she comes and the pumpkin's sitting on the couch. And he's like, now he's got a nose.
Yeah.
And he said, soon my eyes will be here. So it keeps progressing each day she wakes up before Halloween, and he's got another feature. And each time he's saying how I'm going to eat you. Like,
yeah, when my teeth get here, I'll eat you is how every one of them
yeah,
ends.
when my teeth get here, I'll eat you. And so on the fly, like as I'm reading this, I immediately
we made eyes. The first time you started reading it, the first page, we made eyes at each other one line in. We were like, crooked smile. Oh shit, where's this going? And I was just like, you better fix this.
This is some like green ribbon around the neck bullshit, right?
Yes.
And I was like, this is going to not be good. And this is going to
Not at this age.
This is going to create such a complex about pumpkins.
Not just pumpkins, but our sleep.
Yeah.
Our sleep in the immediate future is at risk here.
And so I was like, started reading it, and I was like, well, we got to change it to something. I'll figure it out when I get there. I was like, so because she was really into the book.
Yeah, she's just like she
loves
on the edge of her seat.
She loves pumpkins.
She loves Halloween.
Yeah, so I was like, all right.
She likes spooky things too, man. But
here we go. And I was like, and when my teeth are here, I want you to feed me pumpkin seeds. And so it just became him being rude about eating pumpkin seeds.
Yeah.
Even though he's a pumpkin, he has seeds inside.
Listen,
she doesn't think about it. It's fine. And so, but she loved that book, and we had to read it several times, and I had to.
We got it from the library.
Yeah, we checked it out from the library. She picked it. She's picking some cool books from the library, honestly. But, and there was one night I think that the grandparents watched her, and I was like, if she wants to read, they were doing the bedtime stuff. I was like, if she wants to read this book, let me show you that. I was your mom.
My
mom.
Like, yeah.
I was like, she wants to read this book. When you get to these parts, you guys were brushing teeth, and I was like, when you get to these parts, instead of saying I'm going to eat you, just say I want some pumpkin seeds, or I want to eat pumpkin seeds.
Never been more happy that our child was illiterate than with that damn book. Oh man. And she loves books. I kept being scared because I had to read it 2 or 3 times too. And I kept being so afraid that I was going to just like automatically read the words and not fix it.
Yeah.
And thank God I didn't.
Yeah.
I was terrified it was going to be me that like told her, Santa ain't real or some shit.
I don't know. That's the first time she's picked. I mean, it looks like a very harmless book too. Like the cover of it just says Mrs. McMurphy's pumpkin.
There's no scary pumpkin on the cover of this book.
No, not at all.
Not an indication at all that there's a human eating pumpkin involved.
Yeah.
To wrap it up, just as spoiler alert, she makes the pumpkin into a pumpkin pie at the end and feeds it to all the trick-or-treaters. So now we're getting pumpkin pie this Halloween. Our child is dead set on it.
Now he's inside our children, inside the children of this town, making them evil. It's how the Children of the Corn started. I don't know if you knew that.
Man, that's a good prequel.
It's a good prequel to Children of the Corn. Mrs. McMurphy fed us an evil pumpkin that talked.
Do you remember that movie Trick or Treat?
Yeah.
It's like Trick or Treat's the prequel to Children of the Corn. Mm-hmm. Bring it together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the stuff right there. Oh, crazy old Miss McMurphy.
Yeah.
Hooked the town up with some evil pumpkin.
It was part of her plan all along.
It was. All right. So now we got to write that. You got to write that screenplay.
She is starting to like dragons more. So
she loves dragons.
Yeah, man. I'm really excited. We tried to read her Harry Potter. We gotta bust into that chapter book we got from the library.
Harry Potter starts too slow. I think she needs to be a little older. Like there's too much like
he's in the cupboard being abused by his aunt and uncle.
We didn't even get that far. We're just like, for some reason, the first 10 pages of the book focus on his dumb uncle going to work and being stupid and like, just like, shut up, get to the thing.
His uncle is dumb. But yeah, we looked up some more age appropriate chapter books that
have My Father's Dragon. Is that the chapter book?
That sounds right. Yeah. So we went to the library and we're gonna dip our toe into that soon. She's like, she's good with like the Velveteen Rabbit and Corduroy and like more complex stories than she used to be. So
she gets into those longer stories. Mm-hmm. She likes a lot of detail, which is, I don't think that picture books give her the detail that she craves. I think she's going to love chapter books for that reason.
Well, and we're reading the Montessori stuff tonight too, where they're talking about how imagination doesn't really start to take off quite yet at this age. They're more about the here and now and the tangible and the real things.
Yeah, they can't discern. The thing
So
is that
I
they
think-
can't discern reality from fantasy.
Yeah, I think a book with no pictures isn't quite there yet for her, because I don't think her imagination is mature enough to create a whole scene in her brain without a little assistance from pictures, from illustrations yet.
Yeah. And this one,
I could be wrong, but I just,
My Father's Dragon, I think there's a like each page. It's a full on chapter book, but each page has like one picture
yeah.
to go along with it. It's perfect. Like, and I feel like there's probably several like it out there. It's just finding it. you
Yeah.
know?
We just
More
gotta do
like
a little
this.
research.
A little more like this link.
Somebody give me a listicle with some some bloggers that have done the work for me first, please.
And can they not tell me their life story before
That'd
they
be
give
great.
you the list?
Or, just give me a skip to list button.
The memes right now about food blogs and
Food blogs
recipes are just hilarious. I saw a reel the other day that was just like it was like when a food blogger wants to tell you everything but what the damn recipe is, and it was just a video of the Murder, She Wrote intro where she's like jogging and like typing on her typewriter.
Absolutely.
It's like
Absolutely.
too funny, man.
Oh my God.
Too funny.
But yeah, we're settling in. We're getting there. Older kid wants baby to come sit for story time now, so he's in on story time, and we're starting to incorporate a more regular bath time for him into her bath time. And what are you listening for?
I was trying to figure out what the sound was, and it was the fan on
the
heater behind you. Yeah,
Since I'm cold,
yeah. We got a refrigerator of a dungeon down
I
here.
like it. I like it a lot. Sometimes you need a cool place to come relax.
Yeah, but yeah. So she's enjoying having him
Mm-hmm.
in on that stuff. She's always asking about him. Always
She's
checking
been
in on
walking.
him.
She's been walking in every day and being like, "Can I go wash my hands so I can touch the baby?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like I hear her from the other room before she even sees us.
Today she's like, I'm not gonna wash my hands because I don't want to touch him
I heard her.
because I'm not gonna touch him yet.
It's like,
was like-
you should still wash your hands, child. You just came from
Filthy daycare.
Yeah. God. She laughs about how dirty she gets her clothes. The other day, you brought her home, and one of her friends had dumped an entire
Mulch and dirt
Yeah.
onto her head. So it was just like I rinsed her hair so many times and I could still feel the
It
granules.
looked like lake water when you were done with her bath. It was so gross.
It was pretty bad.
I just looked at her afterwards. I was like, "Hey, can you not let your friends dump dirt on your head next time? That'd be great."
And her hair, I guess one of her teachers had braided her hair, so it wasn't like you could just shake her hair out there in the moment, because it was like French braided on both sides or something like that. And I was like, good grief. It's like, what do you guys do? What do you guys do?
Not teach ABCs. Our kid doesn't know the difference
How are
between
you
letters and numbers, and she's been learning ABCs since she was 2.
How are you not karate kicking that handful of mulch out of that kid's hand?
She had such a good teacher last year, and I went up there, dropped off, and ran into that teacher, so she got to meet the baby. Asked her how she's doing, yada yada. Kind of expressed that now that teacher's moved to older kids' classes, I was like, so we're gonna try our best to see if we can get placed in your class. And she kind of dodged and weaved the question, because I think she was thinking in her head, good luck. And I popped by the front office and was just like,
yeah, it's probably embedded. Like, don't promise.
yeah, don't
parent
promise anything.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't blame them, because people are crazy like me. But I popped by the front office and was just like, so is there any way we can suggest, since our kid was with her and did so great? And they were just like, oh yeah, I forget she was with her class. And I'm like, you got 4 students here, how do you forget this kind of stuff? But also, and then they were like, and we usually just stick with our policy of putting kids together by their birthdays. And I'm like, in my head, 2 things occurred to me. One, that's dumb policy, because all your birthday parties are going to happen on the same weekend, like we had happen this year, and none of the kids can go to each other's parties, or something chaotic happens. And 2, there's a kid in their class that is 6 months ahead of everybody else. So I don't know where your policy failed, but he's literally at the opposite end of the calendar of everybody else in the class. So
I will say a lot of the kids in that class are right on top of each other as far as that goes. So,
but at the same time,
but it still is like
they didn't do that last year because one of the kids in her class was in her baby class, but wasn't in her class last year and still went to the school.
It's true.
Yeah. And her birthday is 2 weeks after hers.
You just feel like
I think they're full of shit. That's what I
feel like no matter what you do, you're just being fed a line. You're just being fed a line every time.
Which is why tomorrow's parent-teacher conference will be the most unproductive conversations
of my life.
Of your life. I was going to use a historical reference, but okay.
Of my life. I'm still bitter about this. Let me see if they got earlier times.
Because she also told you couldn't have an earlier time.
Yeah.
The sign-up sheet just completely blank of.
Yeah. I looked at the sign-up sheet. I was like, you told me there weren't earlier times?
You should literally go manually sign yourself into that.
I'm going to scratch myself out and be like, no, we said 1 o'clock. I'm just going to send a message in the morning. Be like,
sign-up sheet says all this is open.
Can we just have... I mean, she's going to be there. I was like, can we just have this conversation? Yeah. You've got people signed up for 20-minute blocks. Can we just have this conversation, please?
The conversation,
you're blow my mind.
Yeah, you're not going to answer any of my questions honestly or truthfully. Like,
yeah, that's why I'm not.
You guys are quality rated while a gecko lives on your fucking changing table, like in a class full of 2-year-olds. Like.
Well, they're 3 now.
Yeah. Where are you changing these kids? Where are you changing them?
I've seen it in action.
I've seen it too.
Change them while they stand up.
That's so freaking weird. Also, just how was an open... Anyway, I could go through this shit all over again, and I'm not. I'm not going to do it. So...
Just keep my kid alive.
That's all they care about doing.
Keep the kid alive.
As much as they charge, they've made it abundantly clear all they care about doing is keeping them alive, which thankful for. Don't get me wrong. Really important part of the job. But how are you like the best daycare that's everybody's lined up around the block to get into and y'all don't do a damn thing with these kids? And the people who are the best experts. We've had teachers described as experts in potty training and stuff like that. It's just laughable. It's laughable.
Experts because they're potty trained? Like, is that what they're talking about? Are they like mixing the words around? Do you know how many
times I've gone to the bathroom in my life? I'm an expert.
I know. I know where the pee-pee comes out.
Jesus. 10,000 hours of practice here, motherfucker.
Master class. They got a master class you can sign up for. I'm going to tell you how to potty.
This episode is just gonna be called "We Took the Governor Off."
Yeah. It's over.
It's over.
It's done.
Oh God, I can't wait to get this paycheck back.
Yeah. Man. But yeah, that's kind of, I don't even know how long we're going. I've only been recording in one place. So, but that's kind of where we're at. Month in, we're doing good. We've been looking into some Montessori stuff. Maybe we'll get into some details on that as we do a little more reading on it.
Yeah.
Just looking at ways to not go to battle with our 3-year-old. Like right now, it feels like we're just in a constant struggle with her. It does seem just about routine stuff, getting dressed in the morning.
It seems like it's getting a little better, but yeah, I mean, we both just felt like we were constantly telling her no, or taking away things, like
threatening to take things away.
Yeah,
you know,
just punishing her all the time, or
carrots
arguing
out to make her go.
Yeah,
do something. Oh, if you do this, you get the. Yeah, it's
just like the worst crutches of parenting that we're just falling on in bad habit
that our parents did to us. Like, so we're just trying to figure out different ways to motivate her and to keep our sanity, and part of that is letting some things just go.
Oh, like, man.
I've just been
so many things.
I've been doing a lot more. I've just been like, okay, like as long as it's not a complete abuse of time, right? I'm just like, all right, you don't want to do that. You want to wear a dress. You've been wearing dresses all, for a month in a row.
Yep.
But like, or a month straight, I should say. And like, I don't know. I would rather be having fun.
What'd you do? What'd you do to get her not wear a dress today, Jeremy?
Well, daycare's closed tomorrow, but she didn't really wrap her head around that. So I said, hey, if you wear this other outfit and not a dress today, you don't have to go to school tomorrow. And she's like, she looked at me, she goes, yeah. She's like, she couldn't put that other outfit on fast enough.
It was a skirt and a t-shirt too. It wasn't exactly like
wasn't all that different.
Yeah. But she's like real hell bent on no, just dresses.
Yep. So I was just like, looks good on you.
You told me that when I got up this week. You let me sleep in a little, and you already had her dressed when I got up.
You were like, how'd you get her into that? I was like, oh, let me tell you.
We like high-fived in the kitchen. It was just like good tricking our little baby girl. You outsmarted a 3-year-old. I'm very proud of you. Yeah. And I said, like, I was like feeling it with all sincerity.
There will be a point tomorrow where she's going to realize it though. She's going to be like, hey,
no,
wait a minute.
Nah. I got a fun day planned for her. She ain't even gonna think about it. But
we're just tired. I don't know. We're just tired of no one wants to fight with their kid, right? No. But like we wanted to go about it a different way. So we're just looking at different ways to kind of not completely disenchant her, but keep things moving too. So it's not going to ever be perfect. We're always going to have things where we mess up. But we're just looking for different ways to motivate her. And part of it, from what I'm reading so far, is getting up earlier so that there's more time in the morning and not rushing around, because kids get numb to being rushed all the time. And then when there's actually an emergency, they don't feel the need to rush because they don't know any different. It's at the normal speed for them. So yeah, allowing them to move slow, giving them time to move slow, not giving them unlimited time to get ready or unlimited time to do things, but giving them a comfortable breathing space as far as like, just getting things done. Cause it's hard to remember. She's still learning how to like get dressed, put socks on the right way. She still comes home with her shoes on the wrong feet. Like, yeah, there's still a lot of things learn that we're learning, but I think that it's easy to, especially when your kid is advanced in some areas, it's hard to not overlook where their shortcomings are. Yeah, I catch myself all the time, just like I said earlier, plainly speaking to her like she's you, and I'm like, I have to remind myself like, this is your baby, like she's your child. Well, like, and she's got that personality too. I don't think she likes to like admit sometimes that she doesn't understand what you said. She's just gonna go, okay, and but in her head she's like trying to figure it out, Dude, she don't like the words I don't know. I try to say them to her as often as possible so she knows it's okay to say I don't know. Yeah, I think you're supposed to. She likes to say, I know that. I knew that. Yeah. Well, and we've had to tell her several times, that's not polite. You just need to say, yes, ma'am, even if you knew it. Yeah. That's another thing I'm seeing in that book too, where it's like, instead of like, what is it? Instead of correcting them, or if there's something you don't know, like you're supposed to say something along the lines of, I don't know, why don't we find out together? And like, go figure out a way to look it up in a book, or, I mean, like, and everything we're going through in that book is kind of showing me that a lot of the things on Pinterest that I looked up with her the first time around, when I was doing like so much just scouring the world for advice and pointers and stuff, so much of it's based in like Montessori stuff. Like I read that a million times when she was a baby. It's hard to commit to memory when you didn't grow up that way. Like, so you have to put the repetition in for yourself, because I definitely have forgotten a lot of that until we've like re-brought it up reading this book. And I'm excited to look at the book again, just with a different set of eyes for him, because it's geared towards younger kids. But I think that there's a step up. I think that it's written in such a way that I think the next step up in the book for the 3 to 6 or whatever it is probably a good idea.
Yeah. Okay.
She's definitely, there's just a lot of it I'm reading that it's going to really benefit him, but she's past so much of what they're talking about.
Yeah. But I mean, and at the same time, like, there's a lot of stuff that an organization that we can take another look at. Yeah, just.
So that's what you, as our single listener, have to look forward to is us figuring out ways to not pull our hair out.
Or yell at our children and scar them.
Or yell at our children and teach them that that's how people talk to each other.
God, man, that's the hard part.
I think about it every time, like, I get frustrated with her and stuff. I think about what you told me. It was like, you're like, the way you talk to her is how she's going to allow people to talk to her.
Not just people, but that one person. That's the one that concerns me the most.
Yeah.
That one person that she's going to let really dictate how her life goes. That partner, that's going to be the one.
Oh. You teach her how to be the strong one.
You can still be the strong one and still marry your damn parents.
Let's teach you how to emasculate someone.
But that's when they find like their perfect match that still brings out the worst in them. Like,
yeah, it's such a weird crapshoot. Like,
yeah, like you can teach a person to be a strong woman who can just eviscerate a man, and she will still find the man that brings the worst out of her. Which that's arguably a bad quality too, to be able to eviscerate somebody verbally. But like,
yeah.
But I mean,
it's not a good way to be.
Yeah.
It's just, you just gotta hope for the best too. Like, you gotta do the best you can, and then hope that it translates well later. Like, it's because at some point it just, when did the doctor say that the personality is built in? That was 10.
Yeah.
Got 7 years to figure it out. But when
that gap keeps narrowing. Damn it! She's
between 9 and 10, we're just gonna be approaching her with books. We're gonna be like,
but this book says you need to do this.
It's like, I understand what you're talking about, and I empathize with you.
You know, this is not a visual medium.
I know. Right? I'm doing it for you. It's not a listening medium either, apparently. So.
He's holding up a book and pointing to words in it, desperately pleading with his eyes. For all you one listener out there. Oh, man.
We love our one listener. Our one listener being one of us.
I think I get so overwhelmed with the amount of spinning plates you have to keep moving as a parent, because like you have to speak to them based on the course corrections that I am having to make to have the relationship the way I want it with her and eventually him. Like, it's
I'd rather correct it now too.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's corrections in my behavior is what I mean. Like, as her behavior is dictated off of, I mean, she's a little bit pre-programmed, but like, I can't control that. I can only control how I react to her and show her how to, like, you know, modulate her emotions, not modulate, but, you know, moderate her emotions. But like, as a parent, you know, you're trying to teach them how to deal with other people. You're trying to show them you love them. You're trying to gain their trust. You're trying to take them on adventures. You're trying to let them be them and express themselves and find their passion. And I mean, like, it's just, if I put it in like a visual chart, like,
it's a lot of moving parts.
It's so many moving parts, man. Like, enrich their lives with pets and a safe and happy home, and like clean things and outdoor projects and toys and Christmas and holidays and celebrations and trips and you know, teaching them how to handle money and teaching them about science and teaching them about math and language and just a million different things, social interactions, play dates, making sure they aren't bullies, and the importance of hygiene, like just a million different things.
But that's parenthood, man.
It's
just what it is.
I feel like there is just so many places you can trip.
Oh yeah.
Like just one week where you just like don't enforce that we brush our teeth twice a day, and all of a sudden you got a slob or something. Like where does that like little tripwire in the brain happen?
Well, I mean,
or like if like God forbid, like our son sees me walking around in stilettos one day when he's 5, and all of a sudden we got a shoe fetish kid or something. Like God.
I mean,
not that I'll be wearing stilettos in 5 years. I was
about to say, but with your ankles, no. I don't know. Like I think we're doing good. Like, so we're building habits. Like the reason why I'm so big on like taking care of my teeth is because my mom did the same thing to me. Like just when I didn't want to brush my teeth, get in there and brush your teeth. Like, you know,
she bailed on flossing tonight with me.
Yeah.
She'd been fighting with me so much that I was finally fine. I'll make you floss in the morning. Fine. She wears us down. She knows how to wear us down.
She does. Can we skip this? Can we skip that?
What's the thing she's been doing? She's been asking us a billion questions about a movie that she knows which one of us hasn't seen. So she asked that person the most questions about the movie. So they just eventually go, I don't know, let's just watch the movie.
She's like, yeah.
She's exactly what she's doing. It took us a minute to figure out what she's doing too. She outsmarted us again.
She's been doing that to us with like Frozen, and Moana, like
Lion King, Homeward Bound.
Yep. She keeps asking all these questions, and until we're finally like, oh yeah, let's just watch it.
Oh, my favorite trick of hers though is she'll ask questions about something like that she thinks maybe we want to watch, because she doesn't usually want to watch Moana, but she knows I like it. And she'll get us to the TV with the TV on, get to the screen, and she'll go, I don't want to watch this. I want to watch something else. Now the TV's on, she can change the dial.
She knows how to bait and switch, man. She knows how to bait and switch, but I don't know. I think it's good that we're trying the course correction now, because I know for pretty much a fact, I think that like kid 2, if we were to be continuing like we're continuing, would end up having it easier than kid 1, because we'd just be so tired. Like, yeah, whatever, you can watch 2 movies, I don't care. It's just gonna be like, bro, I've been having to figure out like schemes to get you guys tricked into watching movies.
I can't even tell you how many times I looked at both my brothers and were just like, shut the hell up. I don't want to hear a single freaking complaint from y'all. Yeah. Do you understand the shit I went through?
I'm not interested in your plight.
Like, do you understand how much arguing, how many curfew negotiations I had to do? Do you understand that you get to stay out till 11 because I had to come home at 8? Fuck you. Like,
I broke down doors. I wore down nerves.
I am the reason this amendment exists.
Yeah. I broke wills on nights, Oh, man.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want them to feel like one got favoritism for sure, and I want them to feel like they're on the same team, even if that team's very much against us.
Well, and the other night, I forget what was going on, but I think it was last night. We were talking about, maybe it was when we were talking about that, maybe it was the day before. Either way, you were talking about like being at home with him, and how you're being a little down about it, and you were talking about hanging out with him. I was like, well, look, he's just right now, he's not going to be this age for very long. So you just soak it up and have fun with it. And I was like, and we were talking about her today with something. I was like, there's only this. I was telling you how I was just like tired of arguing so much with her, and I'm just cutting back on it. I was like, because she's only going to be like this for such a small amount of time, and I wanted to look back on it and think
happy.
It was fun. It's a happy time. I know, like, the way our parents raised us, I still remember all the good stuff. I mean, I remember some of the arguments and stuff like that. but like I'd rather just let her and him have like a good time.
Me too.
Because some of the stuff's just not worth arguing about, but sometimes you're just already wound up. So the littlest thing, you're like, why are you doing that?
Yeah,
like,
100% agree. I mean, and like, it's not that I'm not soaking him in. Like, I totally am. I remember we took her and did as much outdoor stuff as we could with her. She was born a little earlier, so it was cooler outside. But and it was the two of us, like, so we could get out and double team.
It was also like the tail end of the pandemic.
Yeah, and nobody was out, and nobody was. Yeah. Anyway, so I think that's part of it. Is like, it's not that I'm trying to rush him. It's that I want to be able to do more with him, and it's just not safe all the time. So it gets a little. At
least there's reliable
claustrophobic-y.
Yeah. At least there's reliable people at the grocery store to hold him while you put on a harness.
You suck it.
But no,
and like you're talking about our daughter too. Like, I don't want to remember just fighting with her at this age. I don't want to like look back on this and be like, she's nothing but a teenager. Like, I mean, and you guys were butting heads left and right, like for a while there, and it was just everybody was struggling to really find like
the first 2 weeks of him being here was tough. I mean, but even leading up, like we were all sick.
Yeah, me and her were sick too.
I got sick for that most of that last month you were pregnant. Like,
me and her got sick around week 3 of him being here, and he got sick
for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was just a lot of going on, and it's easy to get wound up in like, oh, work is stressful, or, you know, I'm not feeling great about myself. And then you're kind of, you and me are similar in the fact that we'll get trapped in like a thought spiral. And, just like sometimes it just takes like a little nudge, be like, hey, just focus on him. Like, you can still feel bad about yourself. Like, no one's saying you can't do that, but
it's got nothing to do with him.
You can allow that, but don't let it ruin. Don't let it be so
all consuming.
Because that's what happens to me. Like, and I'll look up and I'll be like, oh, what happened to this past year? You know, and I don't want to feel like that with them. So that's the one thing I can say that has been going on since she got here is I've been just forcing myself to be present and not thinking because my mind likes to be like, you know me, I'm always a what if guy, but I'm also like thinking about like, how can I make this thing better? How can I do this other thing over here better? How, you know, this thing at work, I'm going to school, like all that stuff. So, it's just nice. Like when you're just like, I'm just going to sit here. Like I was holding him tonight and I was like, this is cool. I like this. He's asleep. He's like, looking like it was basically.
I really wish this was visual.
I was holding an old man who had passed out. Like Grandpa Simpson was passed out in my arms, right? But it was just cool. Like you guys were back there. I could hear you guys. It was like a whole bevy of things. I could hear you guys. You were giving her a bath, and you guys were talking to each other, and I was just watching him, and you know there was no TV on. I was just sitting there, and it was just a really cool moment, you know. And I'm just like in my head, I'm like, record it to your brain because it's a really cool thing. So it's just always, I'm just trying to keep reminding myself that. So
I've seen this dumb pen on Pinterest come across. I love Pinterest, obviously. Come across a few times where this family has decided they're going to have their dinners by candlelight. No TV. Yeah. Turn off all the lights, but have dinner by candlelight. And they were like, the way they describe it, it really seems appealing. Like, I think it's got some religious undertone to it that I'm not like there for, but I was just like, damn, I got candlesticks. We can see how this went. But then I was like, we keep putting the baby's bouncer on top of the table, and I'm like, this could lead to disaster.
I'm just picturing us. Get some water. Get some water. Get some water. You're just using
a what?
Using a onesie to like put something out. Burp cloths.
Just fan the flames. Just fan them. Fire doesn't like air.
Oh man, that would not go as well as you think it would.
No. I know my family's a damn sitcom episode waiting to happen.
It's a lovely thought. It's a lovely thing to picture in your mind. But in practice, no, that would not work. Not right now.
I can't decide if this is a better Seinfeld sketch or a Scrubs segment.
God.
Like just a little segue, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's us this week. Thanks for being here. And we'll be back soonish.
Yeah.
We'll be back soonish.
We get some more sleep under our belt.
Yeah, it's getting better. It's getting better slowly. And
we got a beach trip.
Be doing this more. We got a beach trip coming up.
We got one more grandparent that needs to meet the young man. Two more grandparents. One more set of grandparents. We'll take
a couple of uncles.
Yeah. Take this show to the beach and
yeah, we'll try to actually. I want to record before we go, but you know how things go. This is parentally unprepared. Like there's no rhyme or reason, and I think it's good that way. I think it's kind of important that it's good that way, as long as you don't go like huge stretches of time, because then you're playing catch up. But like we had a good amount of stuff to talk about this time, and I think that's
we had too much to cover. We've been tired.
Parentally unprepared at gmail.com and at punpreparedpod on Twitter. No one uses that stuff anymore. So we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.